life writing that. It's kind of deep. So
yeah,
but yeah,
screwed up the YouTube, by the way.
what do you mean?
Yeah.
What'd you do?
No, it was muted. I'm really good at this. Whenever we're not doing this all planned, like.
Oh, great.
No, so.
Oh, that's why the audio just came in.
Yeah, for sure. No, recording the audio for on Audacity.
How do I make the volume go down?
I don't know how to work this anymore when we're not doing an Atlanta United show.
Seriously.
Yeah. So anyway, no, I'm excited.
What's up, man? How you been?
Outside of yeah, I've been kind of stressed. Obviously, my brain is not here. I forget how to even work a podcast setup after a week off.
Going through the struggle that everybody is in Atlanta, and I'm certain most of the country when it comes to renting right now, with how limited the supply
I need you to move your tilt your mic.
I had it tilted.
Other way.
You said no.
Other way. That way.
That way. Well, then I got to make it go higher.
Yes.
Higher.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're struggling right now to find our rental home, but I'm pretty hopeful. We have some stuff out there. I think we'll be able to get into. I'm excited, but it's been pretty stressful between that, just trying to juggle that and work and everything at the same time.
And trying to rent a house always seems to be the more difficult of the two options. Like you can find an apartment or a townhome much easier more times than not, just based on supply, than a house, I would think.
Yeah.
So, especially in some of the areas that you guys have been looking at.
Yeah. I mean, that's the part of it. That's the thing with Atlanta too, is that, what we want, it's going to be hard to find at a decent price, or, I mean, just at all. I mean, it's. I remember. I think it was my parents talking about some study about millennials are holding off on buying now.
Yeah.
So more of them are looking into the rental market. Thus, there's a lot less of a supply of rental units available.
I think a lot of millennials have seen the market crash enough that they're just like, all right, we'll wait. Yeah. It's going to happen again.
Yeah. I've seen the way that some people have been able to swoop in on some stuff. Like I want to look at foreclosures whenever I am ready to buy.
Yeah.
Just because there's some really cool neighborhoods around Atlanta.
I've watched too much flip or flop to buy a foreclosure, where you see families that their house gets foreclosed on. They go and pour cement in the drains and stuff like that.
Yeah. I've never seen that.
Because they get pissed off because their banks.
I feel like that's like all of Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, do you remember that one time? It was after, it might still be like this, but in Detroit, at one time we could buy a 2,000 square foot 2-story home for $35.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but somebody's probably going to be living there.
Oh, absolutely.
I remember talking to somebody whenever I was working in Chicago. The guy was like, "Oh yeah, I know exact neighborhoods you're talking about. Yeah, you're going to have to kick those people out.
I just want to go buy the whole block." You know what I mean?
Yeah, somebody used to like joke about, you vacation in Turks and Caicos. I vacation in Detroit.
Exactly.
It's like I have 6 vacation homes in downtown Detroit. That would be pretty cool. If you had enough money, I guess you can like move your whole family.
But the fact that rich people aren't doing that is probably
it's a good indication. Oh, rich people, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Aspire to be one at some point in my life. I don't know. It's never really been the goal. I think the goal is always just be comfortable.
Yeah. Be able to pay your taxes.
And how like Floyd Mayweather.
Exactly.
I've actually been in the same boat as him, and I want to talk about that in a few. But no, I mean, I think that's what's great about this, like our podcast too, is that you and I both have steady jobs where we're both comfortable, and we're not having to hassle you guys to. I mean, at some point we might set up a Patreon account, or we might set up ads or something like that, but it's not something we're going to have to do. We could bring you guys free content constantly if you guys want to listen to it.
Exactly.
And
it's just a hobby,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a serious hobby because I take it very seriously. It's a set schedule. I have to be here. If not, it doesn't work out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's been, it's been almost a month, I think, since we recorded
I was going to say,
show.
I'm serious about a show. I mean, at least the network will say, like, because
for sure.
we have 2 shows. Luckily, I mean, not luckily, it's a bummer that Atlanta United's been off, or we'll have a 2-week break. So we're not recording tomorrow.
And we still have some interviews lined up that we're going to get to you guys too on this channel. And I mean, obviously, thank you guys for tuning in, listening, however you're listening. And
yeah, definitely.
If you guys are listening on iTunes, go ahead and give us a review. 5 stars. And if you guys like the Atlanta United show, or you guys are fans of soccer, you guys want a show like that, you want to listen to something like that, we do that. The #1 Atlanta United show on iTunes is also on our network. You can subscribe to one channel and get both.
Then eventually you're going to have to get Talking with Herbs on there.
It's true. Especially, hopefully things work out and my parents are able to move over here at some point.
Awesome.
Yeah, that would be great.
Start getting more content up on that. Pila's about to flip out and chase Zelda, by the way.
Oh, no.
She's creeping. And as soon as he sees her.
No, he is dead asleep, dude. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, she's creeping.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good stuff. So, yeah, speaking of paying taxes, so we have this great matchup coming up. Not really. For any boxing aficionado, and I don't count myself in that at all.
Yeah.
It's not really, I don't think it's going to be a fight. I think Conor McGregor is great. I mean, I've been dogging him for years. Like, I dogged him for years thinking that he was some fraud in the octagon. Because I watched so much MMA for so long, and I'm like, I feel like some of the ways that I see him finish people, like I think it was the Dustin Poirier fight, I was like, this almost looks fixed. Like, this looks like a good shit talker, a good heel that they're trying to push through and promote. And then he started proving me wrong. I was like, okay, I didn't see somebody get knocked out like that because dude's kind of on a different level.
Exactly.
And but the thing is, when he steps into that boxing ring,
he's in another
world.
Yeah, I think
I want to say they're going with 12-ounce gloves or something like that. I mean, they're going to go with smaller gloves than the normal.
But they're still not going to be UFC gloves.
No, they're not 4-ounce gloves.
No.
So his power is going to be diminished for sure. He's going up against, I mean, again, not a boxing aficionado. From everything I could tell, one of the most
defensive fighters in the planet.
Not just one of the most defensive, but one of the best defensive counterpunchers in boxing history, in Floyd Mayweather. I mean, obviously, it's going to be a huge spectacle. I think I got an alert on my phone the other day that they set it at a $90 price point for the pay-per-view.
I think it's $100 for HD.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Well, no, what's insane is they're sending me alerts for the SD price. Who watches SD anymore?
Exactly.
Who can afford a $90 fight but can't afford an HD TV?
Oh, it's $100 for the HD.
You go to Dollar General, get a Hisense TV for like $55. You can watch on HD.
The bill for that extra $10.
Oh, man. You guys are coming over. We're gonna watch the fights. It's I don't think it's gonna be much of a contest. I think Conor's gonna last the entirety of the fight. I think it goes to a decision. Yeah, just because of the way the Floyd Mayweather fights. I could pull up the record, but I don't know that he's finished very many people in the past.
You don't think Conor's going to overly expose himself trying to do the exact opposite of that?
No.
Knowing that Mayweather's more defensive and like one of those last rounds just tries to go for a knockout and then exposes himself to one himself?
That's the thing. That's the thing, though. If you ever watch Conor McGregor fight, he doesn't go crazy. He's very methodical.
Yeah.
He taunts people and he moves in like a snake-like fluid motion sometimes, and it kind of just makes it look like he's not reaching, but where he's going unconventional, which he kind of does. But I mean, the way you see him finish, like the Jose Aldo, they both just connected at the same time. He's just so fast and so precise.
Yeah.
But I don't see him overextending himself. I see this being kind of a boring fight, to be honest.
Yeah. So to your point, Mayweather's contesting his 2015 tax returns and saying he can't pay the IRS until he gets his purse from this fight. Okay.
So whenever we were getting ready, you were playing what is the name of the show? Is it Last Word?
With
Undisputed with Shannon Sharp and with Skip Bayless. So it was Shannon Sharp talking about, and I couldn't tell where he was going from here, but essentially he's explaining how the tax system works for somebody like Conor McGregor, or not Conor McGregor. Well, I guess both of them.
Yeah, they're like
no, actually, no. I guess Conor McGregor at this point is
they're freelance employees or self-employed, basically.
Yeah. So as somebody who's had to deal with that, I know firsthand that you can get surprised by what the government. Granted, he's been doing this for a long time; he should know better. But
absolutely.
So,
or at least have financial counsel or an accountant that knows better.
Yeah. So the first time I received a 1099, which is a self-employment tax return. The first time that I got that, I was like, okay, what do I do? Like, why is this? Why do I need to file this? Whatever. Well, whenever you get paid as an independent contractor, nobody takes anything out of your taxes. Yeah. So there are a couple ways to go about it. One of which is to estimate how much you're going to have to pay the government. So you pay them quarterly. You go ahead and just foot the bill and pay them quarterly throughout the year. And then if you're off a little bit, you send them money. If they're off, then you send, you get a return back.
Right.
Well, obviously he didn't do that. How much did he owe?
Oh, I don't even know.
Something like 200 million or something like that. Yeah.
Or he made 250 million last year was what it was. So
that's it. I guess last year he didn't have a fight. Okay, that makes sense. He hasn't finished anybody since Victor Cruz in 2011. So in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
He had the Pacquiao fight. Wasn't that last year?
No, it's 2015.
Oh wow, it's been 2 years since.
Well, he's been retired.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
He was in a Jay-Z like retirement. Granted, he had
a new Jay-Z album.
I still haven't listened past like the first 2 tracks, but I mean, he's 40 years old. I mean, he's not like he is that old in boxing years.
Yeah.
But what's that? I'm looking at his record and I see his 2 fights with Marcos Maidana, and all I can think about is a Dave Chappelle joke whenever he's talking about that lady getting a settlement for the police brutality.
Oh yeah.
She got paid more than Marcos Maidana, a trained fighter, got to fight Floyd Mayweather twice.
That's great.
It's I don't have any like remorse, or not remorse. I don't have any sympathy, I guess, or empathy for Floyd Mayweather, though I guess empathy is not the right. Sympathy is the correct word, because I really just don't. I mean, for somebody that's that rich,
no.
That's
been doing this for
this is
20 years, 30 years,
49 professional fights.
Yeah.
And hold on, another oh wow, Dana White just came out and said, we're breaking news on here.
Oh.
Dana White said Conor McGregor might never fight again after the Floyd Mayweather bout.
What?
That is promotion at its finest.
I was gonna say
because that means that
there's gonna be a Floyd Mayweather MMA fight in the world.
Okay, so there are a couple things I want to talk about because I haven't talked about fighting in a really long time, but I think it's gonna be a boring fight. I think that Conor McGregor's not one to really chase, from what I've seen over the years. He's one to engage, but he's not one to necessarily like chase. Like, I don't think he's going to go after the spectacular against Floyd Mayweather. I think there's honestly a feather he could put into his cap if he says, I lost a decision to Floyd Mayweather, rather than going out and getting knocked out by a guy, again, who has, one knockout in the past 7, 8 years, true. 9 years, something like that. So I don't know. What are you expecting with that?
I don't know enough about it, man. I mean, I think I've watched a handful of MMA fights and maybe 2 boxing events in my lifetime. So it's a lot of highlights that I typically watch. I don't know enough about either. I didn't watch the Pacquiao fight either.
No, I didn't either.
I'll watch this one just
really
because
don't
it'll
watch
be a
a lot of
spectacle.
boxing
And I think
at
this will probably outsell the Pacquiao fight just because of the draw of the MMA crowd. Like boxing and like the fight between Pacquiao and Manny before, or Pacquiao and Mayweather before, had a huge draw, but I definitely think this will have more. I mean,
I think so for sure, because you have crossover. You've seen crossover happen the other way, where you have washed up James Toney going and fighting in the UFC and getting destroyed by Randy Couture, and then
I'm much more interested in this fight just because I've seen Conor fight more than anybody else, probably. In MMA, I've watched probably about half of his fights, I would say, at this point.
So to go back to what Dana White said about him never fighting again after this 100% great promotion, because you have your cash cow who's already going into a crossover fight against Floyd Mayweather. He's going to make a ton of money. He's going to grab more exposure to give to the UFC.
Yep.
He's going to get a huge payday, which I think Dana White has a stake in this because being a promoter. And then, so Conor McGregor's last foray into MMA, I want to say, was his last fight against Nate Diaz. I may be mistaken. No, he beat Eddie Alvarez. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So he had, at the time, 2 belts.
Yep.
So he won the featherweight title. They ended up stripping him.
So gross whenever he cut down to that.
Yeah. So he won the featherweight title.
They stripped him of it. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, it's just due to inactivity. It's not really a strip. No, I'm sorry. They didn't strip him of it. A different thing happened. An interim title. Gotcha, so due to inactivity, they had these 2 guys duke it out, and that was Max Holloway, and I can't remember who Max Holloway just beat. No, he just beat Jose Aldo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he ended up winning. No, he won the interim title against Anthony Pettis, and then so they did drop him. They get rid of because I don't think they ever saw Conor going back to 145.
I don't think Conor saw himself going back to 145 either.
No, so he moves up, fights Nate Diaz, loses the first time. Dude's fighting, I don't know, 25 pounds out of his weight class, and then he comes back, beats Nate Diaz in the second fight, and then he goes up and he fights Eddie Alvarez, beats him, and then he moves on to boxing.
Rematch though, right?
I think so, rubber match, yeah. So the trilogy, it's not a trilogy I'm really wanting to watch, but this is great though, because I could see him coming back, potentially trying to drop to that 145 again, and then fighting Max Holloway.
Oh, there you go.
Because Max Holloway, he is the Conor McGregor is the only. He's one of like 2 people to beat Max Holloway, I think. No, 3. So Max Holloway has 3 losses. The last one coming Conor McGregor. So Max Holloway's won 2, 4, 6, 8, 11 straight fights.
Gotcha.
Including 2 title fights.
That's definitely.
And then you say Conor comes back and he's like, I'm coming back for that strap.
Yeah.
And then Max Holloway's like, I'm going to avenge my last loss. You know, I'm going to show that I'm a different fighter now than I was. Max Holloway's a fucking beast, dude. He's one of the best American fighters I've seen in a long time. Which is good. And he's still young. I want to say he's still like 25, something like that.
How old's Conor?
Yeah, he's 25. Conor can't be that old.
31?
Connor's 28. Wow. So he's actually your age.
Wow.
He actually turns 29 in a couple days.
It's a good way to make me feel like garbage.
So yeah, I mean, it'll be fun. I'm not going to pay any money to watch it. I'll probably watch highlights or whatever it is, but
maybe I'll go out and watch it somewhere. It could be fun.
Good luck. You have to like tailgate to go get into a place like Buffalo Wild Wings, or if somebody can even host the fights like that. I don't know.
True.
I know UFC. I know that Hudson Grill and Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh, it's true. Since it's boxing, it's different than UFC.
It might be a little different than UFC.
I didn't even think about that.
So, I don't know.
So do you think if Conor loses, Floyd goes over to UFC to fight him in the cage?
No, God, no.
Because that would be way worse than Conor getting in a ring, right? Like, as far as being out of his element.
It's completely different.
Yeah.
Because, nobody...
You can't prepare for takedowns and stuff like that. Like, you have to prepare for boxing in some sense.
Yeah, it's one thing if you're like a classically trained boxer and then you start in the lower rungs.
Comparable.
Yeah, you start in the lower rungs of MMA and you work your way up as you're training and getting better. You don't just go like flat into... Because Conor's like a great kickboxer, a great boxer, Thai boxer, whatever.
Right.
Obviously, it's not to the level that somebody like Floyd Mayweather is, or even Manny Pacquiao or anybody like that. But the crossover would be so different. It would be so bad. Floyd Mayweather, not a chance in the world he goes.
So you think Conor at least has a chance?
No.
You don't think it's even close?
No, because you're talking about a guy who's fought at the highest level for so long and who's always
think he's just going to clinch up,
unstoppable. I don't think he's going to clinch up, but he's going to like do that little arm swing or whatever, his little defensive stance. I don't know. I don't think that Floyd is really going to get baited into doing anything. He's been in the ring with everybody.
That's a good point.
He's just a seasoned vet.
That's what I was saying. Like I could see Conor getting baited more so than him.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Based on his experience and comfort level in that scenario,
Yeah.
But how crazy would that be if
Conor beat Floyd Mayweather? That would be insane.
That would elevate him to a level of like he's already the biggest name in fighting, I would say, probably right now, aside from Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, because you saw Ronda Rousey's went down the tank.
Career's done. At least her fighting career.
Anderson Silva is about to retire probably.
So I mean that elevates him to like a Michael Jordan sort of level of celebrity. He's already he's made so much money and he is the face of UFC right now in a lot of ways. He beats Floyd Mayweather. Like I can't even imagine.
No, I honestly think if he does win, I think he retires.
Oh, absolutely.
You got to, right?
Definitely. Yeah. If he wins, he's fucking done.
Win, he's done. Yeah, he's not going to win. I don't see any chance of him winning.
Yeah. And I don't even know enough to really make an informed decision, but what little bit of information I do have and what I have seen, just logically you don't see Conor winning that matchup.
You know what's a shame too?
They're both gonna make a shit ton of money, and ultimately, like, Conor can walk out of that fight saying, this isn't my ring, whatever. Like, he's got nothing to lose by losing. I don't think.
No. I don't think either. I think there's enough. I think there's enough just in it for him that he's going to make a ton of money. He's not going to make near the amount of money I don't think that Floyd Mayweather is. But
I thought it was pretty comparable. I thought there was a whole lot of negotiation to make it.
There was, but it was like Floyd was saying, "I'll get 7 or no, was it? What would that be? 9 figures."
Jesus.
Well, that's his typical fight is 9 figures. He's saying Conor would maybe get 8 figures.
Good God.
But Conor, I think, already makes something like $10 million to fight in the UFC, but it's not like straight pay. It's like bonuses and pay-per-view shares and all that.
Everything else, right?
What's a shame though in talking, because we've been doing a lot of, with the sport, with the MLS, with the Atlanta United podcast, we've been talking a lot more about sports, and with those team sports and skill sports like that, it's easy to pinpoint who just by performance is one of the better players, and they usually end up getting the accolades.
Oh yeah,
David Villa or Javinko or like you were talking about Michael Jordan, right? I mean, he was
LeBron James,
considered the greatest of all time because they are the greatest of all time. What sucks in a promotion-based sport like mixed martial arts or even boxing is that the guys who may be the best at their trade aren't like considered so highly, especially in the eyes of just like the common viewer. Like, the best fighter right now and arguably over the past 5 years has been Demetrius Johnson, Mighty Mouse, 125-pound fighter who just absolutely destroys everybody in any way possible.
Yeah,
but he's not elevated to the status.
You see them so much less as well, which is the other thing. Like Conor McGregor, you'll see him maybe once a year, twice max in an actual competitive arena versus Michael Jordan, who's got 80, 100. What is it? 100? How many games are there? 100 and something for basketball season?
82.
What? Why did I think it was 100 and something?
Because of like the 6-month playoff.
That's exactly it. But yeah, I mean, 82 times a year, Michael Jordan's on the court versus a professional fighter won't ever hit.
That's true, but
82 appearances over the span of their entire career, actually engaging in their sport. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's the difference maker. Is like there's a lot of familiarity with those players that get to the top of their game and they've been playing for 10, 15 years. That 70 games a season, you're looking at almost 1,000 times of seeing them on screen versus 50 over a very, very, very successful career as a fighter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true. But it also speaks volumes that somebody who fights far less than Demetrius Johnson and Conor McGregor is the face of the UFC. Granted, he has a lot to do with that because of how good he is as a promoter, a self-promoter.
He is very much.
But his employer does a lot of that marketing push, and I don't know if it's just there's a lack of appeal for somebody at 125 pounds versus 145 pounds.
He's got to go WWF after this.
Oh right? Yeah, for sure.
He's got that all
World Wildlife Foundation. Yeah,
him and Leonardo DiCaprio saving tigers.
Oh God, Blood Tiger, Tiger's Blood with Charlie Sheen.
What is it? WWE now? Is that it? It was WWF back in the day.
So that's a fucking great segue because Angie and I watched a documentary last night called Nobody Speak. Have you seen that?
I have not.
So do you know anything about the Gawker Hulk Hogan case?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's the Netflix thing about is it all about like First Amendment or whatever? Or
it is, which is a stretch.
That's the spin that they try to put on it.
Yes, exactly. I don't know if you want me to spoil. It's a fucking documentary. I don't think really spoiling anything at this point. So. Yeah, it was a couple years ago. I want to say it was maybe 2011 whenever Hulk Hogan's sex tape or something came out. So Gawker bought the sex tape, posted it on their website.
Right.
And they thought it was newsworthy and they thought it would be protected by the First Amendment.
Right.
Which to me is fucking bonkers. But anyway, so Hulk Hogan sues them. He turns out he's backed by a silent partner to pay all of his legal fees. So Hulk Hogan's on like he just had a divorce.
Uh-huh.
He's losing all his notoriety.
Yep.
Like he's losing a lot of money. So there's a lot riding on this. I mean, there's a sex tape. So essentially, his buddy, who's a radio personality, like set him up to sleep with his wife.
Yeah,
and they filmed it, and then it got out somehow.
It's funny how these always come out somehow.
Yeah.
Whenever it's a celebrity that's on there.
But I think this brings up a bigger point. Okay, so yeah, you're right. The whole like point of the documentary is to talk about how the First Amendment is kind of under attack.
Yeah.
And freedom of the press is under attack and all this stuff. And a news outlet like Gawker claiming that a sex tape was newsworthy because it's Hulk Hogan.
It's a bit of a stretch.
It is a bit of a stretch. It's crazy. So, in the other thing that
Hulk Hogan with his wife, no less.
No.
Oh wait,
with his buddy's wife.
His buddy's wife.
Yeah, he and his buddy. His name's Buddy the Love Sponge.
Oh God.
He and his wife have an open relationship and all this stuff. And so, anyway, that's kind of beyond the point. So, there's a. Trying to think of the best way to attack this, but I found a lot of.
You're attacking my First Amendment rights. Is that what you're saying, Tim?
Yes.
I'm so triggered. Right
I find a lot wrong with the way that they went about this documentary. There's certainly some great points and certain things that are going on right now with the attack of.
But what about the emails?
Fake news and all that stuff.
But what about the emails?
I don't want to get into all that because I could talk about this shit all day. And this is not what this podcast is about. Maybe there's like a news wing of Home Before Dark that's going to come out, or news commentary wing of. But anyway, so yeah, their whole thing was First Amendment's under attack.
You're a real high quality person, by the
way. What are you talking about?
Oh, you didn't hear about that?
Whenever.
Oh, so you didn't hear about Donald Trump Jr. leaking or like sending out all the Russian lawyer emails and all that? That's what I'm talking about the emails.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Hillary Clinton.
No.
Yeah, no. Donald Trump Jr. set up a meeting with a Russian lawyer because he can get dirt about Hillary. Yeah.
So there was going to be a New York Times article that came out today, and he basically jumped the shark in front of them and went ahead and released the emails himself on Twitter. And so like
Donald Trump Jr. did?
Yeah. And so people are up in arms about it and all that. Not because he released it and jumped the
Was there anything nefarious in it?
Yeah. I mean, they're just talking about like the guys like, well, we've got this stuff on Hillary, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, that's great. It's preferable at the end of the summer or something like that. And, but anyway, like Donald Trump comes out and calls him, what was it? It's like a very good person or a high quality person. And so like all the memes that have come out as a result of it.
Yeah,
like,
I can imagine.
Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker, like Luke Skywalker, you're a high quality person. Like, how much of a broken compliment that is.
Yeah, that's true.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I love talking about this kind of stuff. No, but to go to that, not to defend any of that, but because I think that mudslinging or whatever is very unsavory. I don't like that people use it in political realm. But to me, that really is no different if you think about like the mudslinging that went on in the 6th between Ossoff and Karen Handel, because it's at a smaller scale. So
Absolutely.
You scale that up to the presidential level. I mean, you're going to see some shit like that happen.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's terrible.
Yeah.
You should be able to win on your own merits and not just bringing somebody down.
That's
I think that's what. Yeah, it's completely like so backwards now that. Do you know what the Democratic Party 2018 slogan is?
No.
Democrat or whatever. It's like Democratic National Party. Have you seen the other guys? That's it. That's it. Their whole platform is we're not Republicans.
Good God.
We have never needed a third party to rise up so badly in America. Seriously. There's never been a better time.
No.
So to go back to the Hulk Hogan thing, yeah. He ends up suing. Actually, his lawyer sent a cease and desist to Gawker. Say, take it down. We don't want to sue you. We don't want to go through all this. They refuse. The lawyer, like the head of Gawker, refuses. Yeah. Again, no sympathy for this guy.
No.
And he refuses to take it down. So Hulk Hogan's lawyers take him to court. If you watch this, Hulk Hogan's lawyer has the greatest toupee I've ever seen in my life. It looks like the most unnatural toupee I've ever seen. So they go to court and they start litigating, and it's like the editor-in-chief of Gawker at the time, they were interviewing him as deposition, and they were like, at what point or what age, or no, he said, at what point would a celebrity sex tape not be considered news or newsworthy? He said, depending on the age. He said, if they were of a certain age. And they asked, okay, what is that age? And he quote unquote jokingly, no smirk or anything, very deadpan, just says, I don't know, 4.
What?
Yeah. It's like, that's not a good look, even if you're joking. You don't joke about that shit.
No.
That's a terrible joke.
Yeah.
So they open up this whole documentary with this guy like getting crowdfunded like $20 and all this stuff, like people reaching out to him because he lost his job because Gawker got shut down and all this, but like trying to drum up sympathy for the guy. And so their whole defense, Gawker's whole defense was, well, Hulk Hogan's going on the radio talking about how big his junk is and all this stuff, talking about his sexual exploits. And Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea, gets on the stand. He's like, yeah, I'm not Hulk Hogan. He's like, I'm Terry Bollea. I have a character that I'm trying to upkeep. And just because I'm talking about that stuff doesn't mean that you can publish my personal stuff.
Absolutely.
Their whole defense was trying to say, because he's talking about it on the radio,
as somebody
that it's okay to just unleash it.
Good God.
Well, it turns out there was a worse sex tape, which he ended up getting reprimanded for because he's dropping all kinds of N-bombs and all kinds, like very racist sex tape. So Gawker was like, okay, there has to be a reason they're going after us for this. It's because, you know, there's something else out there. And then they were saying, there's got to be somebody else behind this. There's no way this guy can be down and out, have $13 million in legal fees and still be able to like litigate us to death.
Right.
Well, it turns out Peter Thiel, Silicon Valley venture capitalist, is backing him.
Gotcha.
They have no idea it's Peter Thiel. He and his Hulk Hogan and his lawyer or his litigation team say they don't know who it was. It was a silent anonymous partner who was paying their legal fees. But what does it matter?
Right.
Because at the end of the day, justice was served. So turns out Peter Thiel has like a long history of hating Gawker, and he wanted to see them go down.
I was gonna say it sounds like a personal agenda.
It was a personal agenda, and I don't know. They were like airing his laundry and all that kind of stuff back in the day, and that's a completely different thing. I think that was conflating the point, because I think one person can be wrong, and then at the same time, his allies in this can be right. I think that granted, it was a very steep judgment. I think that Gawker got, the judgment from the end of the case was something like $160 million in damages and all that. Jesus. So bankrupted Gawker, which to me, I have no sweat off my back. Right. Peter Thiel going after them it's a little, like, I could see that being nefarious.
Yeah.
What their whole angle on it was that it's a rich person trying to shut down the media.
I can see that too.
I can, but their whole thing was like, what is this leading to? If somebody with all this money is going to be able to shut down the Fourth Estate. But at the same time, there have been billionaires for a long time, and we haven't seen, like, when was the last time you saw a rich person take down the media, a media organization? Yeah.
They always go after the smaller guys.
Yeah. So, well, one of the things that they also brought up was a casino. I think he's worth like $22 billion or something like that. As a casino magnate from Las Vegas. Adelson, I think is his last name. Kind of a skeevy character. He bought the Las Vegas newspaper, and that to me is legitimate. That's like, okay, that's a person going in buying a news. But to me, it's honestly they dodged the whole fact that like Jeff Bezos owns Washington Post.
Yeah, I mean, somebody has to own it.
Yeah, it's true, but he was a takeover.
That's true.
Yeah. So, but to me, I think that they could have furthered the point with somebody like me who.
So is that saying the only way that you can have a media conglomerate is to start it from scratch? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it is weird, right?
I don't understand. Yeah. Somebody is going to have to buy. Like, if corporations are treated as individuals legally, why can't an actual individual buy a media corporation, regardless of what their agenda is? Like,
it's true. Yeah, it's like Amazon doesn't own the Washington Post, but Jeff Bezos, being one of the 5 richest men in the world, owns it. Yeah.
Like, I get that ethically is in a bit of a gray area.
Yeah,
But at the
because
same time, like I said, if corporations are going to be given the same, what's the word I'm looking for, benefits as individuals legally,
yeah,
why can't individuals own like a media corp? Like they've still got the same rights.
yeah, it's true.
I get that it's like putting it out on a broad scale, but what's the difference in that and then somebody starting a startup? I mean, like every media company was a startup at some point, and now it's reaching this mass of people. What's the difference in like somebody starting one and it getting to that point over a span of time versus them just going in and buying it outright? I don't get that at all.
Yeah, but at the same, I could see it from both sides. I definitely see your point as
is that not just capitalism?
Yeah,
I mean,
as a libertarian, I see nothing wrong with it from a financial or from a financial standpoint. But I can understand that there are some ethical, like you said, gray areas. There's some ethical concerns behind that, because what's going to keep Jeff Bezos, who is worth $50-something billion, from keeping the Washington Post from running something unsavory about Amazon?
What's to stop him from starting another company that does the same thing, though?
Well, that's the whole thing. It's
that's my point.
No. The whole thing is like
if he wanted to do that,
it's one thing. He's smart though. The same thing with Adelson. They're very smart if they were to start their own newspaper or their own media publication, it could be seen as much more biased and subjective.
Right.
What they do with this is they take well-established, well-known newspapers that have been around for a long time, have a great reputation. Washington Post is usually seen maybe as a little more left-leaning, but not crazy. Yeah. I think I can't remember what it's called in Las Vegas, Register, something like that. They have long-standing tradition. So he comes in, they buy it. They're just like Adelson, not so much, but Jeff Bezos, like a benevolent backer. Just like, here's some money, do what you got to do. I'm going to keep this paper alive.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, I'm going to create a news organization that's going to rival.
The thing is, for me, like, regardless of if he's nefarious or not, like, who's to say one is like that dictionary to me? Like, if somebody goes in and buys a media company for all the right reasons that people get into media, right? To project, I mean, everybody has a bias no matter what, whether it's Fox News or CNN or Washington Post or New York Times, whatever it may be.
Sorry, Bezos is worth $85 billion. He's second richest man in the world.
So what's the difference? Like, who's to say one's right or wrong if somebody goes in with nefarious purposes to buy a media conglomerate and then say whatever the fuck they want versus them saying it personally, or buying a media conglomerate to like put out good things and like honest things? Like, who cares? They've got a platform now. Like, it's shitty. Ethically, I get that it's shitty, but there is no, I mean, I guess there are ethics, and
I think it's ethical implications of what could be done. I understand.
That's like the thing is like, where do you draw the line between legality and ethics? You know what I mean? It's just like,
yeah, for sure,
legality and religion. Like,
that's like that's an everyday thing.
Like,
right?
There is an underlying religious doctrine underneath the United States Constitution by the founding fathers.
You better be careful who you say that to.
I agree. But at the same time, it's very, I mean, it's on our money, and God we trust, all that. It's there. It's not necessarily the guiding principle for it. And the same thing goes for ethics. But then at the end of the day, there is a legal system to uphold. So what trumps what? So Trumps all.
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, that's an everyday struggle for everybody, though. Where that's
why I just don't listen to the news or deal with it more times than not, because you inevitably find yourself wading through the bullshit. Everything that you deal with on a daily basis is through some sort of filter, no matter if it's coming from me or Pepsi. It's all there for a particular reason, and the same thing goes for media companies and broadcasting companies and everything else. And it's just shitty. There's no right or wrong answer, I don't think, because whether it's an individual that's doing that and has that reach to all those people, how's that any different than Kanye West saying George Bush hates black people.
Yeah, no.
I mean, it's still reaching the same amount of people.
I could see that, but at the same time, I think that those newspapers, I don't think they should be owned by individuals, like a sole individual. Right. I don't think Jeff Bezos should be running a. He should be. Yeah, he doesn't run, but.
So I get that, like they should. Most of them aren't.
It's not a blind trust, but
most of them aren't. Most corporations aren't. There's a board of directors.
Right.
I mean, there's all of that. But at the same time, again, my issue comes up where we have that, but yet we give them the same rights as individuals. So
yeah, that's a completely separate topic.
Right. So it's like, how can you have both of those simultaneously?
Right. I don't think a public organization or anything that's either.
No, see that's the other thing. I don't know how all that works.
Whether it's government owned or it's on the stock exchange and it actually has shareholders like that, I don't think that it should have the same rights as an individual private organization, like something like Chick-fil-A.
Right.
I don't know that I have. I think that. I don't think that they should have every individual constitutional right that an individual has.
Right.
But at the same time, they should be able to serve what they want, who they want, as long as they're not harming people.
Right.
But a public organization, like you have other people, like you have people to answer to.
I probably sound like a jackass talking about this because I literally know very little.
No, you're right though. Everybody does look at something through a filter, and everybody's either. I mean, there's truth, and then there's fiction everywhere. I mean, with all I've heard for the past 6 months is fake news from Donald Trump talking about CNN. Do they publish shit? Do they publish unsubstantiated stories? Do they publish? Sure, everybody does. Like everybody does these days. Granted, they do provide a good service at some times. They report.
That's every conversation I have on a daily basis in some regard, more times than not, is like everything I just said for the past 15 minutes is fake news in some regards. I don't know 100% of what the fuck I'm talking about.
Right. Your job is you're not a reporter though.
Right.
That's not your job.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
But it's the thing. Everybody has an agenda, and that's the scary thing. Is that an organization having an agenda versus an individual running an organization having an agenda, I think I could see those being two separate things, like two different animals. I think they're like CNN obviously has an agenda. Fox News obviously has an agenda.
Yeah.
Like the reason CNN's running stories that are unsubstantiated is because they're chomping at the bit to keep the Donald Trump hate going.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure Fox News runs as soon as CNN gets found out that they're running a fake news story.
They're all over it.
Yeah. Fox News is all over it. Yeah. So, and then MSNBC is just, I don't think anybody takes them seriously.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody takes any of the cable news seriously anymore.
I just don't listen. Like I said, I just don't.
I get so wrapped up in it. I'm so easily wrapped up in all of it because for some reason I feel like I can.
It gets your blood boil. I can tell. Like you'll hear something and it gets you going, and then you just go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, I do.
I mean, I get it. Like there's still some good to be found, and yes, it takes some digging, and it's not all bad. But at the same time, it's not good and it's not healthy because ultimately, it's like the position I take is, well, what the fuck can I do about it? Go out and vote, and that's about it.
Yeah,
I can talk to people. That's about it.
There's good news today, though. ISIS's leader was found dead.
Is that confirmed? Because last I saw, it was unconfirmed.
No, I saw at least Reuters, I think, confirmed it. Al Jazeera, I think, confirmed it. A couple other ones. Cool. Yeah, ISIS has stated that.
But ISIS has also said that they're going to have its replacement announced within the coming days. So.
Right, it's true. It's true. But I mean, you have to. But you. I mean, you cut off the head of the snake. It's not going to come back. I don't think as strong. And they're getting suppressed. Like Iraq just got the Iraqi defense force just got Mosul back, I think.
Oh, really? Nice.
So
yeah, I'll keep up with that.
Yeah.
Too. This is all through Twitter that I see trending. Like I'll check the trending stuff on Twitter every now and then.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of this stuff gets my blood boiling. Like
I just don't have the. I get enough of that with just my regular day to day. I can't deal with it on a macro scale.
Seeing. I guess he's the head of Black Lives Matter, D. Ray McKesson.
I have no clue.
Or I don't know, de facto leader, whatever. But he deleted a tweet. I guess whenever he saw his whole, and I don't know anything about him until reading stuff today about this news story. But Planet of the Apes, I think premieres on Friday.
Yeah,
and their poster. There is I think his name is just Bad Ape, and he's wearing this like puffy jacket. Yeah. Did you see all that?
I didn't see anything other than that. I saw that he's
So D. Ray McKesson's whole persona or his whole image, like part of it, he has a hallmark like bubble vest like that that he wears.
Yeah.
You know, like throwing up the Black Power fist and all that.
Gotcha.
And he took offense to them. He took that as them saying that was him. Yeah, putting him
microscope. And
yeah, but as you could
singling him out.
I don't know if you, but you. Which is great if that is the case and people are calling it out. I think it's fantastic whenever stuff like that gets called out. But then you see just a slew of replies to him with images from the original Planet of the Apes where they're wearing blue bubble vests like that.
Yeah.
It's just an homage to the original.
It's just,
and then he deleted it. He deleted
so quick to jump on.
And and not just that. I think
and then you can't even call people out for being quick to jump on anything because then you've got to check your privilege to do that.
Yeah,
it's fucking gross, man.
Yeah,
the world is a gross place to have an opinion.
But yeah, it really is. But the worst thing about it is it's like less about that and just how self-centered people are.
Oh yeah,
like to think that a movie theater or not movie theater, a movie production studio is going to single out a single person like that. I think is. I mean, in their marketing budget, their $100 million worth of marketing budget, they're like, yeah, we're going to focus on like slighting this person. So, so let's get off of that. Sorry. I can get kind of long winded with that, but I took
well, I don't need to watch that movie anymore on Netflix. So thanks for that.
Yeah.
That's
you're welcome.
I can skip.
It'll save you some time.
Yeah. I got other stuff. I started Parenthood. Been watching that lately.
How is it?
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm enjoying it. I'm like 5 or 6 episodes into it. I'm enjoying it. It's weird because it's like I really, really want to watch House of Cards, but I have to be in a particular mood to do that.
Yeah.
Like Parenthood, I can just kind of pick it up and go with it. Finished Master of None season 2.
We haven't gotten past the first episode. I keep forgetting to go back and watch it.
Gut wrenching. Hurts. It's good though.
Now I definitely don't want to watch it.
Really, really good though. Really, really fucking good. What else have I been watching lately? Just some odd and end stuff, some documentaries. Watched, speaking of ESPN and media, watched the 2 Escobars the other night.
How was that?
It was really, really good. Yeah, it was really great. I enjoyed that a lot.
The 30 for 30 series is kind of unrivaled.
That's the only one that I've seen, and I'm like,
really?
What other ones are there? I really want to watch some of the other ones. I know the OJ one's supposed to be really good, right?
Miller Time, Reggie versus the Knicks. Yes.
And I want to watch the what is it? The Catholics versus the Catholics and convicts or whatever.
What about the Randy Moss one's pretty good. Moss University.
Yeah. I definitely want to check some of those out.
There's a gut wrenching one if you ever want to watch it. I can't remember the guy's name. He's this distance runner in Canada who ended up getting leg cancer. And to raise money, so he's running on.
Don't fucking ruin it. Just tell me there's one about a leg racer and cancer. I don't need to see it anymore. I don't need you to tell me anymore. You're gonna ruin the whole thing. I got it. I'm good.
Okay.
I want to watch that one.
Okay.
Speaking of watching stuff though, have you maybe this is old news. I've just seen a lot of adverts for it on Twitter promoted lately. Is the stuff that Hulu's putting out?
Oh yeah,
live TV and HBO on it and all that.
Yeah, so
is that new or is that
no, it is. We've been watching, but it's not. You have to.
I know it's not cheap. It's like $40 a month for the live TV one, but that's a hell of a lot cheaper than $80 for cable for me because that's really the only reason why I would have cable is for sports.
Yeah, we don't know. We use Hulu. I have cable right now, so I'm not going to use Hulu for live TV or anything like that. So I do see the advertisements because we watch a lot of stuff on Hulu. We watched 4 seasons. Or 3.5 seasons until it got unwatchable of Mindy Project.
Gotcha.
So you see a lot of advertisements because that's a Hulu original now. They bought it after Fox jumped it.
Gotcha.
Been watching Casual.
I haven't heard of that.
It's got what is her name? Mackenzie? No, not Mackenzie Davis. That's a chick from.
I saw iZombies on.
Netflix.
On Netflix. I still got to watch season 2. I'm gonna watch both of those.
No, yeah, they're both great.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of who. I don't know where you would know the people from. Anyway, it's good. And then we started watching Catastrophe. Have you seen that? On Amazon. Rob Delaney and I can't remember the woman's name.
Right on.
Anyway, yeah, both great sitcoms.
But so I might look into that Hulu.
Because I've been seeing a lot of the commercials for getting Showtime and HBO.
And $40 a month for its regular service plus live TV. I mean. You can't beat that. Like I said, just for the sports packages alone. So
yeah. Because what's in it? ESPN?
It said, I don't know what all the channels are in there, but yeah, I'd have to look into it to make sure.
Yeah. So You played anything lately?
Guitar Hero with you and Casey.
Rock Band.
Rock Band.
Yeah.
With you and Casey.
Got down with the sickness.
Yeah, no kidding. Other than that, no, I'm just kind of like the Destiny betas this month.
Right? Yeah. Have you pre-ordered Destiny 2?
I haven't.
I'm tempted.
I mean, on one hand, I've just not had the itch to play anything. And then whenever I do, it's like, I don't want to get sucked into another game for the most part. Like Cuphead, I'm really, really excited for.
There's a great poop game that's out. Have you played Snake First Block?
I haven't.
I'm about to pull it up real quick and show you what it's about. It's pretty damn addictive.
I think I got the concept based off of. Oh yeah, I have played that. Yes, I have played that.
Yeah,
where you have to have a certain amount to go through the blocks. Yeah. Yes, I have played that. God. I think it's called something else on iOS.
Is it?
I think so.
Yeah. Anyway,
but yeah, it is really addictive. Yeah, I just haven't. No, I haven't. What about you?
I finally bought the Diablo 3 expansion.
God have mercy.
Reaper of Souls. Jesus. And then immediately bought the Necromancer package.
Nice.
And then Daniel, our buddy Daniel, and then his friend, they got me up to level 70 to the level cap in something like 10 minutes.
Did you just go through the old content? How did it feel going back into it?
No, I didn't go through old content. They ran me through rifts.
Oh, I forgot about Rift. Yeah.
Yeah. So they ran me through some rifts and leveled me up. And
then do Unicorn? How would have just done Unicorn?
the brony level?
Yeah.
No. We went through like some like crazy rifts. There's a whole lot of new like terminology, new gear, new everything. Yeah. And it's fun though, man.
You miss it?
Yeah, I kind of do.
Did you start a Necromancer? Or?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. That's the whole reason I bought it, because of how much I love the Necromancer from Diablo 2.
Aren't there like 2 or 3 new classes?
There's 2. There's Necromancer and the Crusader.
Crusader, that was it.
Yeah. Crusader's pretty much just a paladin from Diablo 2. But the cool thing is that even though they got me to 70, if I'm going back and playing through the axe, like sequentially with the Necromancer, everything scales to your level.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I'm not going through just one-shotting every single thing in a dungeon or something like that. Right. So it's fun. It just amazes me how repetitive Diablo is and how I can't get enough of it.
That's what I'm afraid of. I don't want to get sucked back into that.
There is I can't think I can't think of a grind that rivals how.
I just feel like I've been an alcoholic for so long, and I finally broke free because like it was almost. I mean, I think it was
one after the other, wasn't it?
I mean, it was maybe separated by like 6 or 8 months at the most between Diablo 3 and Destiny. And it was just, like that was, and then Destiny for 2 years, Diablo for almost a year. Like it's a long time to get sucked into that. And like, it just, those games and those developers know that pleasure reward trigger and how to get you sucked into it and get you to a place to where like you're comfortable enough that you just get into a flow state doing it, and you're getting stuff that is like constantly like eating cookies, but then frustrated enough every now and then to like get you pissed off to want to do better, to keep eating cookies, and then you still just end up with a stomach ache. It fucking sucks. And then like, but you can't tell until you're out of it. And that's, and I am not done with gaming by any means.
But you're not done with Diablo.
I think I've got to be done with those kinds of games, man. I just cannot. I've got to have games where I can just pick up and play and put down. Like I just cannot.
But that's the thing. That's what's great to me about Diablo is I can pick that up and put it down.
I don't know if I'd be able to do that.
Yeah, like this morning, I got up, I want to say it's like 7 o'clock, I had a doctor's appointment at 9. Actually, I got up around 8. Doctor's only 15 minutes away. Angie's off to work.
I do miss those.
Angie's off
waking up in the morning and you're just like, oh, I just want to get a couple minutes in.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm playing, and it's like I accomplished a little bit. Got a little bit through the storyline, and then I was able to just hit the checkpoint, close it out, go to the doctor, go to work.
I don't think I can do it, man. I just know myself. I basically have I feel like I'm at a point in my life where, like I said, I'm not done with gaming. There's games that I genuinely want to play. I'm still debating getting a Switch, knowing that like Zelda very well may suck me back into a game that's got like it's open world and it's expansive, and I could get it sucked into that pretty bad. But with Cuphead and a couple of these other indie games coming out, like I said, I'm not done with it, but those kinds of games and my personality, like I just get sucked in so easy, and I cannot claw my way out. I mean, that's what I feel like I sucked you back in as a result of that with Destiny.
Yeah, for sure. So wait, are you not going to get Destiny 2?
I don't know. I'm on the fence. To be completely honest, I'm on the fence.
Yeah, we're going to lose some people playing on PC. It would pretty much be, I think there would be like 3 or 4 of us.
It's like this. Like I got to this point where I was thinking about it, and while I think at the core of gaming there is a lot of benefit whenever it comes to like problem solving and having some sort of a release, and that like reward center triggering is definitely a positive thing, and it's a healthy way to do that, but it can get abused and it's easy to take advantage of it. But at the same time, it's what happens whenever I, knowing myself, will take advantage of it. It's just like a Netflix binge in that regard. And then it's like I'm racking up all these things in a digital environment, like all these little treasures, and I'm doing these things because it's a release for me and it's getting me out of my head and it's serving a purpose as like a stress relief. But then at the same time, it's like, what do I have to show for it?
I've had that internal argument a lot over the past couple of weeks.
And so like over the past 6 months, specifically over the past 2.5 years with the house and everything else with work and all that, like I need to have a work-life balance. That's for sure. And that's why, like I said, I don't think I'm done with gaming. There will be games that I'll pick up. I mean, I've loved playing the Raspberry Pi with you and stuff like that. Like that's been fun. And like I said, some of these indie games and stuff I think will deliver that. But those expansive, immersive environments and those games where I don't think I can do anything. I can do like stuff like FIFA or whatever and still get that stress relief. Like Rock Band the other day was a blast, but I didn't feel like I needed to play it all night after you guys left. You know, it was an experience and it served its purpose and it was fun. And obviously we need to do it again soon, but it's not like I'm dying to do that again versus how I felt whenever it was like every day when I got home. It's like, all right, gotta get on Destiny, gotta play Diablo 3, and then I'm thinking about it, and then I'm looking stuff up whenever I have free time and I can't play, you know, like I can't do that, man. And it's weird, and it's weird for me to say, and I don't want to put a stigma on it of like it's time for you to grow up, because that's not the case at all. Like, I mean, I think you see that with Danny, right? Like he's not done with gaming, but he's not like
he'll play like MLB. Yeah, he'll play like the show or something like that. Yeah,
I think it'll always be something that's a part of me, but I have to put myself in check, and it's part of growing up in a way. I mean, in a weird way, it's like I'm not putting it down because it's time to grow up in like this air quotes big deal scenario, but at the same time, I have to acknowledge my own limitations and responsibilities and know that there are other things that I can do that will give me that same sense of accomplishment, but in a realistic way, and still utilize the things that are great about gaming that I genuinely enjoy about gaming in another way, you know, whether that's with handheld stuff with Pokemon or with the Switch or whatever, you know, still utilizing those assets, but I cannot do it. And I don't know. And to that point, Destiny 2, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I'm on the fence about it too, because part of me, I want to play it and I miss the camaraderie. I miss having everybody in the party playing together. But at the same time, it's going to take up a ton of time, or it's just going to be a waste of money.
Exactly, because that's what it's going to be, is that knowing the people that we played with or the people that we would be playing with, they will very much be a part of that. In that game, it's easy to get left behind. And and if you're not a part of that, you feel like you're left behind, and the only way to catch back up is to put in all that time and stuff, and then you're constantly just chasing the carrot, you know. I don't think I can do it.
So let's end it on a positive note.
What's that?
So you want to having stuff to show for it. I mean, the other day you brought over some kimchi filled dumplings that we threw into the air fryer.
Did you finish those?
No, not yet.
No.
But I haven't had an upset stomach since I stopped eating them. So part of me feels like I should have.
I haven't gone without an upset stomach in years.
So you teased it. I don't know if it was whenever we were recording or before, but freezer section.
Yeah, man. That's like my new favorite.
Trust me, dude, wait till you buy an air fryer because that freezer section is going to become even more enticing.
I really want to get one, especially because like the gear started turning lately. I went this week, and this isn't like a super fat kid thing, but I was like, okay, I'm down. Let's try this. The whole, there's been a big like healthy alternative craze over the probably 50 years, but more relevant to me, it seems like over the past 3 or 4 years. Like I see, mashed cauliflower or cauliflower pizza crust, the whole deal. And it's starting to get picked up in the freezer section by companies. I've noticed like pre-made mashed cauliflower, cauliflower tots, and then I got
cauliflower tots sound good.
Yeah, and so that's what hooked me. Right next to that was broccoli cheddar tots. Where
I've seen those.
Oh, they good. I made like because it's got like a tempura batter on it, kind of like it's really light. You just put them in the oven, and so I was like, what sauce would be good? I didn't have any ranch. I think it would be okay, but I think that's a little heavy. So what I did was that.
Don't tell me you use honey mustard.
I did not.
Okay, thank God.
Did some soy sauce, garlic, ginger, a little bit of chili, sesame oil.
Yeah.
That shit was so good, dude.
That sounds good.
So good.
That sounds real good. You know what's really good in that air fryer, and it's definitely not a healthy alternative.
Those breakfast hot pockets.
Breakfast hot pockets. The breaded chicken nuggets, the pre-made chicken nuggets.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, they actually have raw ones.
I wish the Prime Day would sell air fryers today.
They had one.
Oh, why didn't you tell me?
It was $79.99.
Oh, that's not
you could no, it's not a crazy deal.
$85?
Mine was still like $80. I think it was the same price at Walmart.
I wonder if Super H or Brand Smart would have it for cheaper.
Maybe. Yeah.
I have to go check and see.
No, but they have raw chicken nuggets, like uncooked chicken nuggets sitting in the if you go in the actual butcher freezer section, not in the the TV dinner section. And those are delicious. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, they're fantastic. I was gonna put a little music on.
I wonder, have you tried to put like anything like biscuits or anything in there?
I think I did. And they cook, I mean, I just did like Poppin' Fresh biscuits.
Yeah.
They cooked in like 2 minutes in there.
It's not bad.
They're okay. I mean, they're nothing different.
Good,
Oh no, I did make I made little garlic knots with them the other night.
Good.
So I chopped them in a little. They were okay. I used them as like
good,
no. I made them. I made them at like.
It's probably that like
crouton alternative for a Caesar salad.
Like a threshold, right? Like some things you need to go a period of time in the oven so that it can rise and all that versus those which are like
I mean, they're still good. I mean, I tossed them in some olive oil and some garlic and some salt and tossed them in there and fried them up and used them as like a crouton alternative in a Caesar salad.
Dude, I've been hooked on Conecuh sausage lately.
What is that?
Katie got me hooked on. It's out of Conecuh, Alabama. It comes from there. So it's like it's like a smoked sausage,
like Alabama's version of andouille.
Yeah, exactly. But it like caramelizes really, really good. It's got some heat to it. Man, it's so good. I just throw that on the grill and then get some crackers with some cheese and slice that up. Put that on there. So good, so good.
I'll let you keep that one.
Yeah. You can't really dabble with that.
All right. I was gonna put on. A little music.
Oh, I like it. So, if you joined us, why ever you joined us, thanks for joining us nonetheless. We hope to see you. If you're an Atlanta fan, Atlanta United fan specifically, you probably already know about that show. If not, go check that out. Hopefully we'll get Talking with Herbs up soon and get some new episodes of that up soon. You can find us both on Twitter. Tim, where can they find you?
You can find me at Tim Herb.
You can find me as well at The Architect. That's at _ARC, the number 1 TECT. Collectively at Home Before Dark. That's before spelled B and the number 4. Check out gethomebeforedark.com. And we hope to see you next time. As always, be home before dark.